We in Los Angeles, California, South Central, gangland. We at St. Andrews Park, land of the H.R. Gangsta Crips. Y'all know who I am. I'm Lil Sody, Mr. H.I.M. All the neighbors know me. We here with Mr. Afro Man.
What's going on, man? What's happening?
Mr. Because I Got High.
What's that?
All right, so we're here with Afro Man too. Now, Afro Man, you grew up right here in the same neighborhood as Lil Sody.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I grew up down Western a little bit, you know, on the other side of Florence. But yeah, man, it's the same neighborhood, same hood.
So was it known as North Side, the part when you was there?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
The 80s?
Yeah, the part where, you know what I'm saying? They started calling it that. At first it was all H-Ray, but then, you know, everything was West Side, you know, from what I was knowing, you know, I don't know. But then pretty soon they start saying, we from the North Side, you know. My big homie started saying, you know, we from the North Side, you know, I started going, I'm from North Side, 83rd.
And what elementary school did you go to?
Raymond.
And what was that like?
It was, so, you know, some of my best hip hop and LA West Coast memories, you know, come from that little, you know, elementary school, you know.
So there's a lot of little rapping going on, a lot of battling?
Yeah, it's where I learned how to rap. K-Day, you know, they was making hip hop in New York, but the radio station that was devoted to hip hop was in LA. We always had some New York stuff in mind when rap went down. Oh, the Kango, oh, the rope chain, the untied sneakers, or just, you know, some kind of sneakers that went with the jumpsuit. Yeah. Rappers had a look before, you know, the gangsters got involved. Rappers used to have their own look. So New York rappers was blowing up in LA. K-Day was the outlet.
Greg Mack.
Yeah, Mac Attack. Yeah, you gotta go listen to a song I got called LA off an album called LA.
What year was that?
That's gonna be 86, 87.
Okay.
You know?
Now in 86, 87, Lil Sody, you was just a young buck.
Yeah, I was a young buck still I was in the garage actually, boxing. Pops had us in the garage at that time, getting ready for the streets, you know what I'm saying? That's Big Sody.
But you didn't go to Raymond Elementary.
No, I went to 74th Street School right here on the far west, on 74th and Van Ness. I was like in the hip hop era because Criss Cross and it was out, and you know what I'm saying, people was wearing their shit backwards, you know what I'm saying, at school, and you know what I'm saying, the fly Jodeci jackets, jean jackets and all that painting on. But shit, back then it was a lot of like, that's where niggas was really starting to gangbang though. Like really hear H.R. Gangsta and Rolling 60s and Inglewood Families and all of that. Cause that's all right there, you feel me?
And we're talking about the 90s though.
Yeah.
For you. All right, let's go back to in 86, 87, you said that was your first song?
Yeah, 86. I wrote a song called Harry Carey. It was a parody off of Lottie Dottie. I never wrote a rap before, so I used Slick Rick as a blueprint, you know what I'm saying, to figure out how to write it. And so it was this girl, she was ballin', she had some nice clothes and everything, and she used to pick on all us other kids. I joke, I say, she must have got her keys from Rick first, because they was, you know, they had a tight stuff, and she'd pick on everybody, and all I could do was exaggerate about the hair on her face. Her name was Carrie. And it was Harry, so I wrote Harry Carey instead of Lottie Dottie, and wrote my first little interpolation, wrote my first rap song over there at Raymond Elementary.
Now there's gonna be a lot of people that are too young to know that Lottie Dottie was the biggest song of 85.
Right.
One of the biggest rap songs of the year. So you took that beat, you sampled it, and did your own song.
I did my own song, and it's like, you know, kids didn't know what no interpolation was. Like, I wasn't using the lyrics from Lottie Dottie. I was using the Lottie Dottie flavor. I was coming the Lottie Dottie way, but it was all original lyrics. Harry Carey ate her own cherry. That's why her lips are very, very hairy. They say, you know, they say you pussy hairy lips. So, you know, everybody would gather around and tell me to bust it. You know, like, they went crazy because she picked on everybody. She was like a cute Shanae. She was crazy. She went hard on everybody. And when I busted on her, everybody tripped out because rapping was a craze. If you attempted to rap back in the late 80s, people would gather around you like breakdancing. It was a craze. So when I got up on the park bench, I was like, Harry Carey. My homeboy started beatboxing. Harry Carey. Kids started running. Teachers thought it was a fight. Harry Carey.
Hey.
Harry Carey ate her own cherry. That's why her lips are very, very hairy. Yeah, I was yelling that shit out, man. Everybody went crazy.
So you never recorded it?
I did eventually later.
Yeah.
But in the 6th grade, everybody would just tell me to bust Harry Carey. You know, she hit me up on Facebook the other day, like, what's up? Hey, this is Harry Carey. You know, everybody remembered that song. They knew I did it. They just told me to do it again. I didn't have no, I do it on my little radio, recorded on the tape.
So she pretty much started your career, basically.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Now,
Harry
sorry,
Carey. Thank you, Carey.
Do you remember your first song, whether you recorded it or not recorded it, that was a complete song that you started to spit?
Yeah, I really didn't start writing raps until I got to prison. You know what I'm saying? So when I began to write raps, I began to bring people on the prison yard out. The Hispanics, the white boys, blacks, they're gonna support me anyway. So once I started getting to every race and they started coming to the yard together to hear my raps, I knew I had something. I had to know I had something. That was something that I was just working on since from YA to prison. So I was like, well, why not jump off the front line of this active shit and try to put it all a year of my dedication to the music. Something that I like to do. Here you go, Pippin.
And was that hard for you to do? Because
Yeah, it
you
was.
kind of you was mostly in the streets.
Yeah, it really
I mean,
was.
you're catching cases, going to prison.
Yeah, it really
And that's something
was.
that you if you're trying to do music, you can't do both, as they say.
You can't.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that the hard way. As you can see, you know what I'm saying? I was doing my thing with Jeezy, and then I caught the case.
You caught a serious
A
case.
serious case that the Lord helped me, blessed me to get up out of. And from there on, I ended up catching a gun case when I came back from Atlanta. It like slowed me down a little bit. The jail shit really do. And I'm letting y'all know, if you're trying to rap, you cannot mix the banging with this rap shit, cause especially if you're young, and if you still trying to make a name for yourself, it ain't gonna work, cause your homies is gonna be hating if you start shining. They're gonna be like, oh, this nigga ain't coming to the set, you ain't been in the set, you ain't been doing nothing, well, you can't do it. See, I was able to do it because I was banging before the rap shit. I done been to the halls, camp, YA, prison, then I started, you feel me? So I had a fan base already, which is the streets.
Now, Afro Man, how did you avoid some of the stuff that Lil Sody had to go through? You grew up in the same environment.
Yeah. Well, you know, my dad, I was going to Horseman. And, you know, like, I was just about to get jumped in the bathroom. And they said, I think they call it the Whittier earthquake.
Whittier Narrows earthquake.
That saved my life. Sometimes I think God sent it to keep them cats from jumping on me in the bathroom that day. I went home, told my dad that I just couldn't go to Horseman.
I believe that was October of '87.
Okay. You know, it's been a long time. It's many blunts, many 40s ago. So I can't pinpoint it, brother.
Yeah.
But that's the way I'm going to pinpoint it. That I was about to get jumped right before when that earthquake jumped off
In
that
the morning.
In that morning. That's how I remember. And I went, after that earthquake, everybody went crazy. And I needed that. I went home, and that was just enough chaos for me to tell my dad. And what I wanted my dad to send me to some school in LA where all the A-Trays went. Then I could go to school with the homies. But he flipped the script on me. He moved me up out of LA, period. And you know, I didn't like that, I didn't want that. He went straight to Palmdale and was like, yeah, now. You know, in the middle of the desert, only black on the block, nobody want to holler at me, nothing. Sit your ass in the house. So then I got into sports, I got more into rapping, and you know, I was still super hard gangster to myself, but I was out in the desert, man. I was out the way, man. And, you know, a lot of stuff, if I would have had access to the street, you know what I'm saying, ain't no telling. But, you know, my dad, you know, he stepped in and kind of pushed me out the way. So I was going to Palmdale High playing football and then, you know, rapping and stuff out there and everything. And it was more, I picked up on some other stuff. It's a way of life down here in L.A., then it's another life outside of L.A. County. You know what I'm saying? Outside of South Central, rather.
You never forgot your ETG roots.
I couldn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't.
I couldn't. I mean, you know, the Jerry curls, the helicopters, the battle rams, the Lolos hopping up and down the block, you know, like, You know,
Real life.
it mesmerized me. It wooed
Did
me.
you come to this park as a kid?
I didn't. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I didn't. But you know what I'm saying? I used to. Like I said, I was always on the north.
North side, baby, right here.
It's a long walk from 69.
And you know, like, I was a badass banger, but I had to bang around my dad. Because when my dad, he would virtually kill me. Like, you know, what are you doing up on Western with your pants hanging down and this handkerchief hanging out your pocket? And what are you riding on the handlebars? And what was you doing? You know, like, so I tried to get it in. And I was a bad motherfucker till my dad came around. You know, because he was a monster.
Now,
You know?
if it's hard for people from A-Tray to go to Horace Mann because it's just pretty much dominated by the 60s, where do you go to middle school if you're from right here?
You can go to Bret Hart, but we rather go to Horace Mann because half of that school is ours from years ago. And then you can go back to interviews and you can hear some of the OGs tell you that.
Yeah, before the war.
Yeah.
Before the war was
And then when the war started, it was still, y'all go out the back cuz we coming out the front. That's how it go. You know what I'm saying? They have some of their homies waiting on the front because they know that's the side homies was coming out of. And then we had the homies in the back waiting on them to come out. So it was like, you know, it was always some shit like that with Horace Mann, man. That's like I was telling you, like, what's junior highs that was active like that? You know what I'm saying? Junior high, and you said who Fauché, right? You know what I'm saying? That's I mean, you know.
So how much time did you spend at Horace Mann?
About 2-3 months. I got kicked out. I had to go to Bret Hart. I got kicked out of Horace Mann for fighting. I spit on somebody in the hallway, and we started fighting, and I got in trouble for that.
Was that a 68 trade thing? Or
Yeah,
you
but
a
it was
gangster
like,
thing?
yeah, it was like you had the Raising Hills back then, like a clique off the north, then you had the 2DCs, and then you had they little cliques over there. So we was kids, be up and coming, you feel me? So I was making my way, like trying to let them know. So I got kicked out of Horace Mann, had to go to Bret Hart, where the Hoovers at. That's the only school, you know what I'm saying? Pops was like, you can't go nowhere else. I got kicked out of there.
Big Sody.
Yeah, I got kicked out of Bret Hart for a gun. Got sent to Henry Clay. Didn't graduate from Henry Clay, I ended up going to camp, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how the way the cookie crumble. I had good upraising. My parents, you know what I'm saying, my grandparents, I was raised with them till I was 7.
But you got one of the rare family situations where both your mama used to represent the hood and your dad.
Yeah, my mama was from the set before my daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mama Sodi was from the set before, Big Sodi. My daddy hung out over there in Crenshaw High. You know what I'm saying? That's the history a lot of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? Knockout artist. But you know what I'm saying? He eventually came home and ran into the queen. You know what I'm saying? He caught my mama squabbling the nigga down, and he seen how she put him down, and he went and finished him off, and then that's how they hooked up like that.
And then all the other little Sodies came along.
Yeah, baby Sodi, sister Sodi, and my cousins Tiny, Young. Rest in peace to Tiny. He died in prison in the feds, so you know that's one of us. You know what I'm saying, that's gone up in heaven.
All right, so Afro Man, when you moved out to the Antelope Valley with the LA swag, you must have was treated like a celebrity out there, the way they look at people from Los Angeles.
It was a bunch of stuff coming at me at the same time. It was like you catching a kickoff. You know, everything coming at you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking I'm just cool. You know, I'm not knowing I'm like Al Qaeda back then. You know, on the news, they watch the news, and you know I ain't tripping. You know, and I ain't know when I dressed up and I walked outside, I was alarming people. You know, I didn't understand squad cars just swerving up from nowhere, and you know, like I see a window go back like this, and I'd be just bailing down the street. You know, just thinking, okay, it's just another beautiful day. And next thing you know, them 3 sheriff cars just whoa, 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 just swerving up on me, and you know, hopping out, acting crazy.
Out there?
Yeah, you know, telling me to go back to LA. And so anyway, there was that, and then other than, you know, it went from, in LA, it was like, you know, there was the gang hostility, but up in Palmdale, you know, that was more on a back burner. It was more laid back. Nobody wasn't tripping on that. It was more racial.
You were around more white folks too.
Yeah.
Come on, little
What's that
bro.
like? Because there's not too many white folks over here, and then you move over there.
Well, I learned a lot. I learned about stereotypes. Like I didn't know black people were stereotyped for watermelon and chicken. I didn't know people thought, we were pimps and hoes and just a lot of stuff, I had to learn and then I learned that some people like to reason, some people, you're quicker to squash. So, there's an element where cats are squabbing is a communication. Then there's people where they go, you let them know, hey man, I got a problem with this, that, and the other. They go, okay. So it was a learning experience.
Now, did you ever think when you was in school out there that you would actually become a brand? Because I'm looking at these cans right here, and you're basically a brand.
Yes, sir.
And you've done quite well over the years. Did you ever even imagine that?
I have, man. Dreaming, man. Dreaming is a beautiful thing, and I hate to be a cliche, go back. Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream." The Bible said, "Without a vision, we perish." One thing a ghetto boy can do, while that helicopter flying around the house, light coming through the window, he can't stop you from dreaming. You can dream. I'm in South Central, but that brain can pop up and get on out of there. You can imagine everything. And one thing rappers help me do, they help me dream. I got bodyguard, 2 big cars, definitely ain't the whack. He had holes in his t-shirt while he was singing that shit. He was dreaming, but we liked it.
Talking about he had a Lincoln
Yeah,
Continental.
yeah. Tell us about the Boom Boom Room. What's wrong with a dream? You know what I'm saying? So I dream. And Run DMC, LL Cool J, all them cats, they helped me dream. Too Short, so he'd be like, baby, that's my town. When all the tops come down. Then I was in a convertible with him. Now, since it's coming through my speaker, it's got some music behind me. He taking me with him. I can live vicariously with him. He taking me out the ghetto. I ain't in the ghetto no more. I'm in the Benz with Too Short. Straight from the West. Oakland, I dream.
Thanks for watching StreetGangs.com. Please like and share the video you just watched and leave a comment below to tell us what you think. You can also watch 2 of our previous episodes to the right. Please visit the link to our Patreon page and support our campaign. And don't forget to subscribe.